in every business when you have fundamentals, right? It's not the abandonment of the fundamentals, but sometimes the fundamentals need to be enhanced and raised to a new level. And see, that's where, for me, especially technology and innovation, when those support fundamentals, that's when it all works. When we built our contact management system a number of years ago, it was to take the core fundamentals of the working by referral system, and then we put it on boosters by adding the innovation, adding the technology to support it. And we're constantly innovating that contact management system, the referral maker CRM, constantly spending money, constantly innovating. We have an entire plan constantly every year of the improvements we're going to make to it. But the thing is, we don't have that just to have it. We have it because it's a technology and an innovation that takes the fundamentals and drives them further. And this is kind of a key ingredient to me when I've witnessed innovation work, is that it should be inside your fundamentals. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. So sacred cows come up against personal resistance. You'll hear things like, well, this is how we've always done it, right? There becomes a resistance to change with people. And a lot of times because people's identity is tied up in their jobs. So when you're messing with innovation, you're messing with their identity because they find a sense of safety and comfort with the job. And I'm just going to say this, when people cling onto a job, when people cling onto their identity, they're always the first to go. It's just when people lean into the innovation and lean into the what can be, those are the people who get to expand their skill sets and get to stay around to see the innovation take place. And so Maya Angelou said, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Creativity is key. Innovation is key. And I'll walk you through a process on how to innovate. So we want to, right, we're going to cook the sacred cow burgers. Be willing to challenge the status quo. The next piece to that innovation process is who else is doing it well. There's a great verse in the scriptures that say there's nothing new under the sun. I always ask myself the question, who else is doing it well? If I'm looking at core fundamentals, whether it's in sales or marketing or customer service or product development or whatever it is, who else is doing it well? I want to see who in the marketplace is doing something exactly or kind of like it. In fact, for myself, people have said, like, I innovated an industry, like the business coaching side of things. I mean, we built basically what became an industry. 30 years ago, people weren't talking about personal coaching for business. Now, did I invent it? Absolutely not. And I've always been a guy, what I would say is I use synthetic creativity, which is, okay, this person here, they're doing business coaching over here, but they're using inside practitioners. So they're using people, for example, in the real estate business, they're using realtors who are coaching on the side, and they all work from home or remotely. Like, I like the idea that they're doing one-on-one coaching, so I'm going to take that piece, but I'm going to bring them in-house and have them highly skilled and highly trained and fully dedicated people. I've always said when business owners have full-time problems, they need a full-time coach, not part-time coaches with part-time solutions. And so I took a bit of that. Someone out there was doing conference calls, and that was their coaching program. Well, I liked that, but I went, okay, but I actually want to do something where we brought in and became a webcast. So I would do a broadcast in front of my staff, and then we would allow people to call in. So I took the conference call piece and then took that and modified it, put that together. Small groups. I wanted to get people together to synergize. Well, that wasn't in business, but I noticed the biggest churches around the country that had huge, big communities of people, they were breaking it down into groups of 10 and 12. And in fact, we brought in a consultant from one of the largest churches in San Diego who they came and consulted with us. And we made a donation to the church, and they consulted with us on how to build small groups. We then built a technology that was more advanced than what they had, and we gave them that technology back to that church, which then expanded that church significantly. So we took their ideas. Overall, I saw ideas and concepts that were in the marketplace, and we took them together, we improved them somewhat, and then aligned them in an offering that had never been done before. So I would say we had 7 major offerings when we launched as an organization, and I'd say 6 or 7 of those existed in different industries in different places, and we executed on it differently, packaged it differently, put it together, and then it became revolutionary to the industry. That's who else is doing it well.